Good evening and welcome to the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting. Thank you to all of our in-person guests, our online community, and stakeholders for joining us this evening. It is my pleasure to call the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, April 11, 2023. The time is 6:01 p.m. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
I'll move that motion.
Second.
The motion to approve tonight's meeting has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion at this time? Again, the motion is to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? The motion is passed unanimously. You've had an opportunity to review the minutes. Are there any corrections at this time? If not, then the minutes stand approved. Ms. Blackshear?
I move the motion to approve the minutes for the meeting of March 14, 2023, board regular session.
Second.
Second.
All right, there's been motion to approve the minutes from March 11, 2023. Properly motioned by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Again, the motion is to approve the minutes from March 11th, March 14th, excuse me. Make that correction. Okay, to approve the minutes from March 14th. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Okay, the motion is approved unanimously. This time, Ms. Blackshear, if you give the ethics statement.
In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflict of interest and interest of such conflict. Does any board member have any conflict of interest scheduled before us or appearing on our proposed agenda? Seeing none, Mr. Chair, we will proceed with our agenda.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the board members? I'd like to personally welcome each one of you here tonight, especially our young people. Also, I'd like to thank the community for approving the SPLOS that will enable us to continue to do the work that we're attempting to do. Me personally, I'm excited to see us finally have a decent track at high school. Anyway, those are my comments. Are there any other comments by the board member?
I would like to,
Go ahead.
good afternoon. I would like to just encourage Twiggs County to encourage and support special education. Today, I attended the Special Olympics today, and our Tweeds County students did wonderful. They did their competition and they won. And I want to just say we need to give more support to special education.
Lieutenant, you have any?
Uh, Thank you, Mr. Chair, and welcome to all of our parents and our scholars that are with us on tonight. I love to see a full house like this. This is the reason why we are here and why we do what we do in order to make our school system the best and the best for the brightest that is you, that is sitting out in front of us. I want to again echo what Chair Karstoffen said and thank our community for the support of the East Blos. And we're going to bring that resolution before the board for approval tonight to officially close that East Blos election formally so that we can begin working on those projects that we've been talking about through the East Blos campaign, including that brand new track that Mr. Karstoffen is excited about. But we have lots of great projects on the horizon. We're going to be purchasing new buses. We're going to upgrade our security systems. We're going to improve the lighting inside of our classroom, buy brand new furniture for our schools, for 2 of our schools. We're going to buy new electronic materials and textbooks, and we're just going to provide our scholars with the best because they deserve it. And it would not be possible without our community support. So thank you. At this time, Mr. Karstoffen, I'd also like to bring up our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Griffin Stewart, and she is going to present some awards to our scholars on tonight. Dr. Griffin Stewart, I'll turn it over to you at this time.
Good afternoon, Chair Karstoffen, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Superintendent Dr. McBullard, all of our students and parents and friends of the family here today. This is truly a great day because we are recognizing the accomplishments of our students. Let's give our students a round of applause. So we have a lot of students to recognize this evening because we have a lot of great things going on at our elementary, middle, and our high school. And so we're going to first start with our storybook walks. If Ms. Leah Tony would come forward, because we do have some authors in our midst.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, board. Good afternoon, Dr. Bullard. We are so excited every year to do our storybook walk. This year was our 2nd annual storybook walk that we had. And what it is we partner with the elementary school. And I talked to Ms. Jenkins and I said, we have to do the storybook walk again. And they just took it and ran with it. And they had a book writing contest. And the winners of the book writing contest got their book printed on yard signs and put out at Jeffersonville City Park. And then we have a kickoff. So our kickoff was March 30th. And we had the students come out. The student who wins, their whole grade level, gets to come out and see the storybook walk. And it stays up for 2 weeks. The book that they wrote was called The New Kid, and it's by Alasia Holloman and Sarah Wright. If they would stand. You can come on up. Come on up, Sarah. Alasia is, we'll make sure she gets her award. But they partnered together this year. Last year, Sarah won. I don't know if you guys remember, but she wrote by herself. And then this year, she partnered with Alasia, and they both won the storybook walk. And it was about a kid he came to a new school, and he was a tiger, because we always want to implement the JES tiger. And the kids were afraid of him because he was a tiger. And eventually, in the end, they became friends with him. And so, Sarah, we thank you and Alasia for the hard work that you guys have put in. And we want to encourage our parents to continue to read with our children. That's why we continue to pass out books whenever we get a chance. We just want to encourage them so that we could get our reading levels up, Because as you know, COVID did also put a strain on the reading levels. And so we just want to make sure that we are continually putting that in front of them and making sure that they are excited to read. And we want to get them excited to read. And so we want to give a big thank you to the Board of Education because you guys are wonderful. I want to thank Ms. Reardon. I've called Ms. Reardon over and over again, and she says we have more money in L4GA. So thank you to the Board of Education for the L4GA grant. That's how we were able to do this. And all the other things we have coming up for the summer. Thank you, Ms. Reardon, for all that you guys do. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, Ms. Wright, Sarah, any school officials, if you all want to come up and take a picture with Sarah, that would be great. Any school officials, please come forward. Let's give them another round of applause. Great job. So our next group of students participated in our district-wide Young Georgia Authors Competition. The Twiggs County School District is pleased to announce the 2023 Young Georgia Authors Writing Competition winners. This writing contest was open to students in grades kindergarten through 12th and includes all writing genres such as short stories, poetry, essay, research reports, and other forms. The purpose of the Young Georgia Authors Writing Competition is to encourage students to develop an enthusiasm for and expertise in their writing, provide a context to celebrate their writing successes, and recognize student achievement in arts and academics. These are our Young Georgia Authors K-12 system winners. And so we're going to start with Jeffersonville Elementary first. We're going to recognize our students and even share the title of their work. So we start with kindergarten, Zamari Rouse. The title of her work is My Shopping Trip. So Zamari, come forward. You look so beautiful. Next, we have our first grade student, Peyton Basley. Her piece is Recess. Next, we have second grade, Olivia Thomas. The Day I Turned Invisible. Third grade, Heaven Price, A Principal's Story. Fourth grade, we have Amelia Harris, The Positive Magic. And last but not least, we have our fifth grader, Nevaeh Williams, Misunderstood. Our young ladies, they look so beautiful this evening. Oh, wow. So let's give them another round of applause. Students, I want to encourage you to keep writing, because writing is not just an academic skill, it's a life skill. And so at this time, all parents in the audience, we would love for you to come forward, along with any school representatives, to take a picture with our lovely young ladies. Please come forward at this time. So Mr. Watkins, is it any way you want them? Okay. Are your grandbaby back here? All right, let's give them another round of applause. Great job, students from JES. Now we move to the Twiggs County Middle School. We have our sixth grader, Jeremy Stanley. His writing piece was Harriet Tubman. Jeremy, please come forward. Our seventh grade student is Chloe Dykes. You get what you get. Please come forward. And last, we have eighth grade Cal Deaton. Why I Can't Stop Thinking of the Past. So it is so great to see. We have some young men writing, and so that warms my heart. Keep up the good work. So let's give them another round of applause. So at this time, our parents and school officials, if you would join us to the front and take a picture, we would love to have you. Let's give our middle school writers a round of applause. And last but not least, our high school students, the Twiggs County High School. We have representing ninth grade, Michaela Hollins. I Could Be Next. 10th grade, we have Jada Myers, Peace. Next, our 11th grader, we have Brandon Walsh, The Shadow. Benjamin Walsh, The Shadow. I'm sorry, Benjamin. And then our 12th grade student is Shungaria McClinton, Big Bear, Little Bear. So let's give our high school students another round of applause. So will the parents of our high school students and any school official please come forward and join us for a picture. All right. So I have a very special announcement. We have the school level winners, but we also had one special young lady who moved on to the next level. And so Michaela Collins, if you will come back forward, I want to just give you a special acknowledgement. She was our system level winner. And so what happens is, just turn around so everybody can see you. Stand right there in the middle so everybody can see you. There you go, Michaela. And so what happens is we have we send our papers off, Middle Georgia RESA, and they grade all of them. And so what happened is Michaela Hutchins won for our district. She was first place for ninth grade. And so she has moved on to the state competition. And so we are hopeful to hear of a state win by the early May. And so let's give her another round of applause. Woo! So Michaela, we are truly proud of you. These students were, all students were saluted with a gift bag, but Michaela was saluted with a monster-sized gift basket. And so she could not carry that basket around during the day, Mom. She had to leave it in the office. But we are truly proud of you. So students, we want you to keep writing because you are truly helping us accomplish our vision and our mission. So thank you so much, Michaela. And our last recognition is we had a student who came in third place for the Georgia Rotten Poster Contest. And what was the purpose of the contest? It serves to raise awareness of the harmful effects of elevated levels of indoor rotting gas and promote testing and mitigation of indoor rotting. By participating in this activity, students had the opportunity to learn about rotting and how to reduce their risk of exposure. So our student who came in third place was none other than Miss Chloe Dyke. So we're going to make sure that Chloe receives her her recognition. But what was so special about this poster contest is her work was displayed in the Atlanta airport for a period of time, and then she also received some incentives, some pencils, pens, and a $50 gift certificate. And so we are doing great things with our students in the Twiggs County School District. So parents and students, keep up the good work. That concludes our student recognition. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chair, that concludes the superintendent comment.
Thank you very much. It's good to see our students excelling, especially in the academics and in writing. Do we have any math competitions that's coming up soon? I'm good. But again, congratulations to all of you, and continue the good work. At this time, I'll turn over to the superintendent again with the district request.
Well, as we always begin with, our district is a district with a vision. And our district's vision is generating excellence, one team, one goal. And we do that every day by inspiring, challenging, and preparing all of our students to compete globally. I'm going to present to you tonight field trip requests, fundraising requests, and a facility request as well, board members, that we'd like to get your approval on. And all of these requests support our strategic plan, goal number 2, which is excellence ahead, academics, in facilities, and in opportunities. These first 2 field trip requests have already been pre-approved by you, board members, and I thank you for your approval. And that was on the 23rd of March. Ms. Williams took her students from the special education department to the Publix in Bon Air in order to learn more about the different jobs at that site. And also, Ms. Jenkins, as already was shared by Ms. Tony, their 5th grade students went to the Jeffersonville Park for the storybook walk in the park, and that was on the 30th of March. And we thank you for your approval of those field trips. We also have some field trip requests from Ms. Morgan Robinson from our agriculture department. On April the 20th, she'd like to take 9th through 10th graders on a college tour to the Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College with hopes of maybe getting some other students interested in agriculture. Mr. Colonel John Terry on the 20th of April, which is a Thursday, would like to take some of his JROTC students on the annual Jeffersonville Highway cleanup, and that's a 2-mile route that they have adopted, and they want to continue to keep that 2-mile route clean as a community service project. Ms. Morgan Robinson on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, April the 27th, 28th, and 29th, would like to take her FFA, Future Farmers of America, students to the state convention, which is being held in Macon, Georgia at the Coliseum. She'd like to have your approval to take the students on that convention. Ms. Latoya Pearson and other kindergarten and 1st grade teachers are asking your permission to take their kindergarten and 1st grade students to the Dawson Trails Nature Center in Jackson, Georgia, and that's to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information about organisms, and that's on Monday, the 1st of May. They also would like to take their kindergarten and 1st grade teachers on the 2nd of May to Green Acres Farm in Cochran, Georgia, for the same purpose, to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information about organisms. The 2nd grade teachers, led by Ms. Chastity Willis and the other teachers in the 2nd grade, on Wednesday, the 3rd of May, would like to take their students to Pinstrike Force and Motion in Macon, Georgia, and that's for a science and math experience to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information about force, push and pull, movement of objects, speed, and direction. Ms. Erica Williams would like to take her students from the special education department to Houston Lake Cinemas in order to job shadow and learn more about money skills, and that's on Thursday, the 4th of May. Ms. Angela Vincent is is asking your permission to take the 8th grade students to the Fort Pulaski, which is a tour of that national monument and on Georgia's coastal plains region, and that will be on Thursday, the 11th of May. Mr. Wilcher and some teachers from JES are interested in taking the pre-K students to Stevie B's, and that will be on Friday, May the 5th. And Miss Hastings is interested in taking the CNA students on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the 12th, 13th, and 14th of April, to the Advanced Health and Rehab Center here in Jeffersonville, Georgia, for a clinical experience for those future nurses. And finally, this is not a district-sponsored field trip, but we certainly want to make you as well as the community aware that Central Georgia Technical College has dual enrollment students that attend Twiggs County High School, and they have a dual enrollment study abroad program where students go to another country to study for 10 days during the summer. And we have 3 of our outstanding students who are seniors who are eligible to study abroad in Ireland, June the 18th through the 28th. That's Sunday through Wednesday. That's Miss Michaela Mitchell, Miss Mariah Shine, and Miss Zion Height. We're proud of those ladies. They would gain college credit by attending that dual enrollment study abroad experience, and we want to get the board's sanction on that as well. We have 3 fundraising requests we'd like to get your approval on as well. Ms. Leandra Lewis would like to get your approval for a snack and slushy fundraiser on April the 17th through the 19th. That's a Monday through Wednesday, in order to raise funds for supplies for the National Honor Society. And also on Friday, May the 5th, she'd like to do the same, do a cakewalk in the Twiggs County Middle High School small gym, and that is for the purpose of purchasing for their seniors of the National Honor Society memorable gifts as they're preparing to depart from Twiggs County Middle High School. And Coach Burgess is interested in getting your approval for a field trip to sell T-shirts for a middle school field day, and the funds would be utilized in order to purchase varsity girls basketball items and equipment, and that fundraiser would be on Friday, May 19th. We have 1 facility request that we'd like to get your approval, and that is from Ms. Sandra Flowers from the GR Lighthouse Learning Center. She'd like to get your approval to utilize the JES Gymnasium for their annual Stepping Up exercise. If you were there last year, remember how beautiful it was. And that will be on the 1st of June, and I believe that is a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday or Thursday, the 1st of Thursday, 1st of June. And they would like to utilize the JES Gymnasium for that purpose. They would get there in the afternoon, and they would have their activities early that evening. Board members, that concludes our facility requests, field trip requests, and fundraising requests.
Chair will now entertain a motion to approve the request, fundraising request. Need a motion for that approval?
I make that motion.
Second?
Second.
It is the motion to approve the superintendent's request has been properly been made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? The question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the superintendent's requests, facilities, field trip, and fundraising requests. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion is carried unanimously. Mr. Austin?
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board Members, Superintendent Dr. Bullard, constituents in person and virtually. We have seen information as it relates to our salary supplements and schedules for FY24. Per our budget calendar, it's time for an approval, and it does align with our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It does align with our strategic plan goals. Number 3, doing things the Twiggs way. 4, growing and sustaining our village. And 5, a premier people-first organization. Our classified schedule, as presented on our last board meeting, is presented before you. With all our classified staff that we anticipate funding for FY24. Our administrative schedule, which consists of positions like the principals, assistant superintendents, and directors, and position supplements, athletic director, band director, and etc. That information presented before you as well. Our teacher supplement and schedule our certified teachers, presented with the base salary of $42,000 and also with the base local supplement of $1,554. We have our miscellaneous merit-based supplements for additional routes, teachers sub-pay, bus driver sub-pay, and our minimum wage that we increased in our last budget cycle, still maintained at $10 an hour. Our athletic supplements for high school sports, and also our middle school sports. It's presented as is from the last presentation. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns at this time?
Question? At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the salary supplement schedules. Presented by Mr. Austin.
I move that.
Second.
It's been properly moved by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King to approve the salary and supplement schedules. The question is on the adoption of the salary and supplement schedules. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. All right, we have next I'm in order, Board Chair. Go ahead. We have next our approval of eSPLOS results and resolution. I think the sentiments has been expressed that we are appreciative of our community for supporting our eSPLOS. And we are sure that the projects that we have aligned and planned aligns with our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It aligns with our strategic plan goals: one, learning and wellness for all; two, excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities; and three, doing things the Twigs way. What you have before you is an excerpt of the election summary report. This report states that 8.17 or 8.17% of eligible voters or registered voters voted in the election, casting a total of 526. On the next page, we have documentation for certification of returns, which shows that the election was properly certified by the election officer. Again, an excerpt of the resolution that shows the 524 votes. 460 voted in favor of the SPLOST and 64 voted not in favor of the SPLOST. Per our statute in the state of Georgia and recommendations from our legal team, we have to, in open session, present this information for an approval by the Board of Education and also to be signed. And that will conclude the actual election process so that we can go forward in the use of the funds and projects. Are there any questions at this time?
Questions? The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the eSPLOS results and resolution.
Make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Is motion to approve the eSPLOS results and resolution has been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. Blackshear. Is there any discussion? Again, the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the eSPLOS results and resolution. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Austin.
So next, the digital graphic design proposals. I believe it is safe to say that our school district will take good pictures. We will create great graphics and flyers, and we will ensure that people see and hear the good news about what we're doing in our district. Part of that process is ensuring that we have the resources in place, and this graphic design proposal does align with our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It specifically ties to strategic plan goal number 3, doing things the Twigs way, increasing pride within each school and classroom, and communicating what makes or what make Twigs unique. We solicited proposals from 3 companies: Minor Agency, M&R Marketing, and Mogalista Marketing. Mogalista is our current provider. Minor Agency and M&R are local to the middle Georgia area. We wanted services that accommodated our needs, and those services that the quotes were for are as follows: the graphic and logo design, brand management and content strategy, web content maintenance, and social media management. From that list of services, the companies presented the following information. M&R Marketing presented a monthly price or quote of $17.60. However, that's a baseline, and it's $500 per page and site. We have several social media sites and, of course, a web page. So that price would increase. They also have a hourly rate of $149, and any additional work that's outside of their scope or outside of their base price, they would charge an additional $149. So there's a lot of scale that can possibly happen with that, not a definitive price point. So that's their model. Mogalista, which is our current provider, they have an all-inclusive price of $4,500. There's no other fees associated with that price. Minor agency, monthly is $5,850. They also provide an hourly rate of $150 for any additional services. The recommendation is to continue with the relationship with Mogalista Marketing until June 30th, 2023. We understand that our policy states once we have reached $25,000 in a purchasing agreement that it must have board approval. And providing this opportunity June 30th will allow companies as such or other companies to place quotes for FY24. So this is to continue with what we currently have, and then we'll come back with recommendations for FY24. However, I do want to show why the recommendation for this company. This is some of the work that was done. A lot of the flyers, all you can read book tasting, academic nights, pre-K family nights, Wild About Grandparents Day, academic nights, the Winter Ball. A lot of the highlights and programs of JES is captured here. Sports, we had a lot of great advertising around our sports programs for our varsity level to junior varsity, ranging from baseball, football, and et cetera. So this is some of that company's work as well. One thing that was different was reels, which is a little snippet of videos that showcase and highlight, sort of like watching a highlight reel from a football game. And this gave us an opportunity to see some of that and engage more customers, if you will. Next, budget documents or document formatting. So the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award that we received, the formatting of that was done by this company. So they was able to put together a document that was worthy of international praise and award. Lastly, the website management, just the banner, that forward-facing look that you see on the website, that is maintained and designed and coordinated with our staff to ensure that it matches the brand expectation of the district. So these are just a few samples of the reason why we choose to continue this relationship until June 30th, 2023. Are there any questions?
Any questions? It's time the chair will entertain a motion to continue with the, is it Mogul? Mogulistic?
Yes, sir.
The Mogulistic Corporation. Can I get a motion?
I move that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All right, the motion to approve to maintain the contract with Mogulistic Corporation has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the continued contract with the Mogulistic company. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, no. The motion passes unanimously. Let's see. Mr. Austin, you still up?
Sir, this is my home run.
Okay.
All right, so the budget overview. We are off the cusp of the General Assembly concluding their legislative meetings in their 40-day period. So we'll provide some information that impacts our budget and considerations and et cetera. This is part of our budget calendar as we go forth and ensure that we prepare a fiscally responsible FY24 budget. It does align with our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. I do have the distinguished pleasure of presenting one of the few topics or documents that addresses all of our strategic goals. One, learning and wellness for all. Two, excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities. Three, doing things the Twigs way. Four, growing and sustaining our village. And lastly, a premier people first organization. So House Bill 19 is the actual bill that's passed to provide the funding opportunities for education in other municipalities and entities within the state. So budget updates that's specific to education is there's a 6.3 million funding increase for breakfast and lunch for reduced paying students. This impacts Twigs County Public Schools. I'm not sure what that equates to for Twigs County Public Schools. I do know that there will be a funding increase for that line item. Added was $50,000 for feminine hygiene products. We do receive, my opinion, not enough, but some dollars in allocation for this. So that $50,000 will give us a few more dollars to add to our feminine hygiene products as well. The state is playing catch up. There's a 5.1% funding increase for bus drivers, school nutrition workers, and school counselors. To my understanding, they have realized that all of our employees were essential and that most specifically, we had a lot of impact to these categories. Our district, we have raised the bar in salaries and expectation being competitive. So the state is really providing more funding to help support our initiatives that we have in place. $1,000 salary supplement for custodians. Interesting, the Quality Basic Education formula does not provide a formula or line item for custodians. However, they have decided to, based on our records we reported, provide a supplement for the custodians of $1,000, which is a one-time payment, as of what I've heard today from our financial review team. The state is raising their base pay for teachers. Their current base pay is $39,092. You just heard that our base pay is $42,000. They are raising theirs to $41,092. So we will also look at that opportunity to see how much that provides to Twigs County to help and assist in that area as well. They have added $251,000 for the Governor's Office of Student Achievement, GOSA, to provide personnel and operations for a literacy council, including digital curriculum for pre-K through 5. I am sure more information will come through the teaching and learning departments. However, on the business, finance, and funding, they have provided more allocation. So our considerations. I would say 10 years, we have not seen an increase of this magnitude in our state health benefit plan. Every district in the state of Georgia will have this as their top of mind in the budget consideration. We have experienced a proposed 67% increase in our state health benefit that we, as the employer, would pay on behalf of our employees. That means real time, our certified staff, teachers, counselors, and et cetera, the state health benefit agency has already initiated some of their percent increase, retroactive January of this year. The state has been kind enough to give us some of that money in our midterm adjustment starting this month. So we will see an adjustment to assist only for our certified personnel. However, our classified personnel, custodians, and et cetera, are in consideration of this too. Now, they have suggested a 3-year phase-in. which means that the first part of this phase-in will start January 2024, which is direct impact to our budget because we do not receive funding for classified staff for state health benefits. So that would be a local commitment, which is a very hefty price tag because that's a good portion, salary and benefits makes up a good portion of our budget. So there is a high consideration. As far as TRS is normally the benefit that drives up our budget. However, it was pretty neutral, only a slight increase going to 19.98%. For the millage rate, the past 2 years, we have rolled the millage rate back, and currently it has come below the 16.6 that we have historically seen over 10 plus years. So the plan is to work closely with the tax commission to ensure that our millage rate is maintained at 16.6 and it does not roll back any further. The further that it rolls back and there's a swing in the adjustments or ad valorem tax, that could adversely affect the district years down the line if the economy changes. So we want to be proactive and ensure that our millage rate is maintained at our 16.6 rate to maximize that. The State Department and the House Bill 19 is suggesting that the quality-based education formula is fully funded for FY24. That means no austerity. It means that they will not put a line item to take a few extra dollars to fund their initiatives and shortfalls, that we should receive all the money that they say we should receive. So we will, in this budget, fund an ISS position for JES. We have looked at data to determine that there is a need and that we will ensure that's top of mind. We will align our LT allotments, manage staffing through an attrition model, and maximize funding formula with the right class size. Right, meaning that we'll ensure that the right number of kids are assigned to that class to maximize. Determine technology refresh cycles is extremely important. What we buy this year has a life cycle. We want to ensure that the funding can match that 2 or 3 years down the line when it's time to refresh Chromebooks, for example. Of course, we've already talked about the state raising its baseline for teacher pay, going from 39 to 41. So upcoming, we will look at the budget overview number 2. It will be more detailed, looking at revenue, trends, expenditures, projections, and the QB allotment for FY24. I did make contact with our budget department and the financial review team to gain access to our allotment for FY24 so we can see the real numbers. And currently we're building a model that will help us predict what will things look like in Twigs in FY24 and beyond. At this time, this concludes the presentation for the first budget overview. Are there any questions at this time?
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Dr. Griffin Stewart.
Good afternoon again, Chair Starfin, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Superintendent Dr. Matt Bullard, all of our visitors in person and virtually. It brings me great pleasure to share information about Carnegie Learning, math instructional resources. It's aligned with our strategic goals 1 and 2. Our strategic goal 1 is learning and wellness for all. And strategic goal 2 is excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities. But before I can share this information with you, we are a district with a vision and a mission. Our vision is generating excellence, one team, one goal. And our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. I presented this information last month as well. And so I just want to review our journey, our math instructional resources journey. We started in 2021 with our iReady math implementation for our K-8 students. Currently, our K-8 students utilize consumable iReady hardback books as well as the digital platform. Our teachers have teachers' editions They're scoped and sequenced, again, along with the digital teacher toolkit. And our students experience the My Path, which serves as their personal tutor. And during our second screener, our students demonstrated an increase in their academics in math. So let's continue the math instructional resources journey by implementing Carnegie Learning math resources for our 9th through 12th students. As we looked at some historical data, the last time we looked at our end of course Algebra 1, we also looked at our grade distribution for our students. And we know that math is an area of concern, not just for our elementary, middle, but also our high school students. So we looked at the Algebra 1 data, our report card grades, and we also had a chance to look at STAR 360 math for our 9th through 11th grade students. And so again, the green signifies that those students are exemplary. The blue represents proficient. The gold represents developing. And then the red represents students that need more work. So based on our data, math is a need, a continued need for our high school students. So when you look overall, we have more students in the beginning learner, developing learner category, and we want to move more of our students to the proficient and distinguished. That's the goal. So again, Carnegie Learning is an innovative education technology and curriculum solution provider for K-12 math literacy and ELA, world languages and more. But we're focusing again on secondary math. And Carnegie Learning is designed to equip math teachers and leaders with experiences and tools needed to implement the new Godot frameworks with a focus on a 21st century collaborative student-centered mathematics classroom with the ultimate goal of increasing instructional efficiency to achieve positive results, and last but not least, to improve those outcomes. There's research here to support Carnegie Learning. ESSER evidence states it is strong evidence, and it's based on the Mathia component. And the Mathia component is like My Path. It's that personal tutor software for our secondary students. And then ESSER Tier 2 rated it as moderate evidence standards as well. So when we continue, we see that student achievement partners also rated Mathia. And as you can see, Mathia is an important component of Carnegie Learning because that's the area that meets students where they are, while at the same time providing grade level math content. And lastly, we have the United States Department of Education, the gold standard. This is a grand cooperation study. And as you can see, the Carnegie Learning Algebra 1 completion was 0.54. And so it is supported by reputable researchers. But when we talk about what do we need for our students in Carnegie Math for our high school students, this proposal is for a 6-year Carnegie blended Georgia Math Solutions for high school. We would be ordering the consumable print math book student editions, and they would be delivered annually. So this packet would include a refill of those Algebra 1 consumable books for students, geometry and advanced algebra. Students would be exposed to the digital math book as well. And then the Mathia, we would get a 6-year license and print Georgia Teacher Implementation Guide. So that's the teacher's edition. And then you see the math stream, that's adaptive lessons and video lessons for students. So if students need to go back and review, they will have those videos. And then on-site implementation workshop, those first 2 workshops will be for for teachers that know how to use the materials, and then partnership meetings where they check in with us to see how it's going. Now, the professional development is additional, and so this will provide additional support for teachers, and it will be more job embedded in classroom support, with coaching, consulting, and teaching on the side. So when we look at our costs for our students and teacher investment, here I need to make a quick correction. Teachers' textbooks and teacher editions will be $36,285.30. The professional development option would be $24,000. And so I need to make a correction for the total that I'm happy to make. It should be $60,285.30. And so the funding source would be ESSER 3.
be monitoring this? That it's moving correctly?
Well, we would, myself, Dr. Simmons, Ms. Woodley currently serves as the math content person. And so through Carnegie, once they come out, they'll have kind of scripted plan. And so we would all do those instructional awareness walks. Because it's a mapped out plan that they have that we have to implement. And so it's an accountability piece to this as well.
And then I see another question. That you had, like, for the book, they will get order like.
It's 65, but the good thing is in this packet, it is for 6 years, so they'll replenish those books for the next 6 years. Those consumable books for students, they'll send those every year. It's included in the packet.
No addition.
No additional cost.
Any other questions? So in the professional development, um, you're saying that they'll send in a math specialist to work with the teachers to ensure that
They understand and know how to teach the content.
understand, know how to teach content.
Teach the content, teach what's in the scope and sequence of that math book. Because we're going through new standards this year in math. And so we'll have new math teachers. And so they just need that support in terms of knowing how to deliver that math.
So there are going to be new standards in math this
Yes.
year. The chair will now entertain a motion to approve the Carnegie Learning High School math resource.
I move to accept the Carnegie Learning High School math.
There a second? Okay, the motion to approve the Carnegie High School math resource has been properly made by Ms. King and second by Ms. Blackshear. The question is on the approval of the obtaining the Carnegie Learning High School math resource. All in favor, say yes.
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 The motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dr. Stewart, Griffin Stewart. Ms. Reardon.
Good evening, Board Chair Karstoffen, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Superintendent Dr. Mac Bullard, and our stakeholders. Tonight, I'm bringing you an update on our ESSER budgets and our spending patterns. It aligns with our vision, generating excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It also aligns with our strategic plan, Focus Area 1, Learning and Wellness for All, Focus Area 2, Excellence Ahead, Academics, Facilities, and Opportunities. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations, CRSA Act, more finely known as ESSER 2, much easier to say too. The original budget was $1,636,623. The information you have before you was presented last time I presented. You've received this information, so it's here for your reference. Now you'll be able to see the changes from the last time we reviewed this budget for the carryover. The carryover money is now $281,309 as of September the 30th, 2022. It carries over until September the 30th, 2023. There were 3 categories that we budgeted for: retention supplement, Chromebooks, and equipment for cleaning floor surfaces and improving air quality. We had $151,790 allocated, budgeted for retention supplements. That has been adjusted to $140,298 since our last reporting period. Chromebooks for students was adjusted to $117,991, which you approved at the last board meeting. And we adjusted the category for equipment to $22,750. Any additional dollars will be added to Chromebook purchase at a later time. What does this mean for us? For example, if an employee who was given the $1,000 retention supplement or the $500 retention supplement chooses not to return next year, we had a clause that they must return their retention supplement. So if they return the retention, when they return the retention supplement, it will be added to a line item for Chromebooks. We will do that in about July, going into August of this year. The next graphic that you see is a representation of the money that has been spent since January the 5th, 2021. Most of the time we look at budgeted categories, what we plan to spend. Today you're looking at what has been spent for the ESSER 2 category. This is what has actually been spent over the whole life of the grant since January the 5th, 2021. And of course, the categories you've had in front of you for some time, and they're here for your reference. The next grant we're looking at is the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund American Rescue Plan. We know it as ESSER 3 ARP. This grant was awarded in March 24th of 2021. The budget period will end September the 30th in 2023, so that's coming soon. The unspent dollars at that time will then be carried over into the 2023-2024 year and will end September the 30th, 2024. As of March the 1st, we have spent $1,247,198 out of this grant. So we have remaining, as of March the 1st, $2,431,310. This grant again will end September the 30th, 2023, and then carry over until September the 30th, 2024. There are some requirements for this grant that we have not had in the other CARES or ESSER grants. We've discussed this multiple times before. We must allocate at least 20% to address learning loss. April 21st is the next 6-month documentation review, and April the 10th through May the 4th of this year is an annual performance reporting for year 3. The graphic that you see is a representation, again, of the money that has been spent. These are the categories in which it was spent. This represents the $1,247,198 that has been spent since March the 24th, 2021. This next representation is a graphic that you've seen several times before. We presented this one again in December of 2022, just a few months ago. This was the budget as it stood for our second amendment to the ESSER 3 ARP. We are preparing a third amendment for our ESSER 3 ARP, represented in this graphic that you see on the screen. This is due to changes in grant expectations. They have changed what can be classified as addressing learning loss and the changing needs of our students. You will see a more defined allocation of the fund budget representing more specific needs and targeted interventions for our students. And finally, this last representation is just another representation of the two graphs that we just saw side by side, showing you the changes in budget over time. The yellow highlighted areas are the items for addressing learning loss directly. As we moved away from the direct impact of the COVID virus, we have moved our focus from directly mitigating the virus to focusing on recovery and closing gaps for our students' learning and looking forward to future student achievement. Amendment 2, in December, our budget, we had to have 20% or more addressing learning loss. We had 26.7%, which was $982,161. Due to the changes in what can be allocated and to our changing needs, we have now changed our and address our learning loss with 48% of this budget. Now it is $1,765,683.80. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Reardon.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bacon, you gonna bring us home?
I need to. Good evening, Board Chair Christoffen, Superintendent Bullard, board members, and guests in the audience. Tonight, I'd like to bring as an action item the school-based health clinic. It aligns with our strategic focus in areas 1 and 2, learning and wellness for all, and excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunity. But first, I'd like to remind all of us of our mission, generating excellence, one team, one goal, with a mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all of our students to compete globally. In our last meeting, we talked about having a modular option for our school-based health clinic. The size would be approximately 2,300 square feet at a base cost of $321,000. We also discussed what were the revenue sources for this project. With the total revenue for the project be found at $635,100. $410,000 coming from federal funds, $50,000 coming from the state and Georgia DOE, and possibly $175,000 from SPLOST. This was our initial estimate by SRJ Architects. As you can see, give you a copy of the actual estimated cost from Mobile Modular with the cost as estimated. As you will see, we have a breakdown of cost. The building and delivery, $321,000, plumbing, $25,000, electrical services, $18,000, fire security and networking, $23,000, parking and new traffic pattern, $40,000, entryway handicap ramp, $20,000. Gives us a total estimated cost of $447,000. These are approximates, so there's about a 20 to 25% tolerance that we hope that we'll be saving with that once we get finish getting all the hard bids. Procurement policy. In accordance with the board policy, all purchases more than $25,000 must be authorized by the Twiggs County Board of Education. We will seek the board approval to purchase the modular building for the school-based health clinic, as well as related services for its installation, not to exceed $460,000. That increase is also a contingency, so we don't have to come back in case things don't go as planned. When you dig in the dirt, you don't know what you'll find. But we are looking at ways that we can save. The current JES gym has additional power, so we're hoping that we can tap into that to save us quite a bit of money. So we are definitely looking at bringing that number way down and not using that contingency. Are there any questions?
So
Question?
with-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So with the plumbing, the electrical work, all of the, that we got here listed, you'll be doing different bids on all of this? You just gave us an estimate.
Right. So we would do different bids. Right now, we have a plumber. We have a staff plumber that we use. We have a staff electrician that we use. So what will detail the cost will be when we set the building down. So remember, the building will have electrical. It will be wired. So we have to do the service entrance. So will we do a new pole, or will we tap into will it be close enough to tap into the power at the JS gym? So all of these things matter. So we will bid those out. But if they're within the tolerance of not going over, or we feel that's a fair price, a market price, then we'll go with those people who've done our work and that we trust.
Any other questions? This time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of a modular building for the school-based health clinic and the related services for installation not to exceed $460,000. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. Okay, it has been properly motioned by Ms. King and second by Mr. Rouse to approve the purchase of a modular building for the school-based health clinic and the services related for installation not to exceed $460,000. All in favor, say yes. Yes. The motion has been approved unanimously. Continue, Mr. Bacon.
Next we have up, which is good news, is our bond bus allocation. I'll be presenting on, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Bullard, on our bond bus allocation in fiscal year 2022 amended budget. It aligns to our strategic focus in areas 1 and 2, learning and wellness for all, and excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunity. Reminding us of our vision of generating excellence, one team, one goal, and to inspire all of our students and challenge them and prepare them to compete globally. So what's happened? In the FY amended 22 budget was signed by Governor Kemp on March 16, 2022. The budget included $153 million in additional transportation funding, which resulted in the additional allocation of 1,747 new school buses. As we were reminded, most years we just get a bus a year. But this is a 3-year allocation, and Twiggs County was allocated 5 buses over the next 3 years. The district received a total allocation of $440,550, or $88,110 per bus. This is an increase from $77,200 that we received in the amended FY21 budget. So what I will try to do is show that it is really a gift in the past. We usually average about $20,000 in district funds to get a fully equipped bus. But what I want to show the board and everyone out here is that there's a considerable amount of increase. I don't know if it's due to parts or supplies in purchasing a bus. So the cost to purchase a base model 72-passenger bus, which is the most common bus that we use. The last bus that we purchased was in year 22, which was we got it in 23. The base price was $84,069, and we received $77,000 to cover that. And this year, the price is $97,372. And that's a price increase of $13,331 on basically 13 months. But we don't buy base buses due to the needing cameras, two-way radios, and air conditioning. A fully equipped bus that we purchased in year 22 was $97,400. But any bus that we purchase in the upcoming year will be $136,200 with a price increase of $38,800. So you can see that it's been a substantial increase in the last couple months. We have two, and looking to add one more, of 90-passenger buses to the fleet. A base model bus was $100,368 on last year. And this year, it would be $117,701 of a price increase of $17,333. To purchase that same bus fully equipped, we spent $120,000 on last year, $120,800. And this year, that same bus would be $171,500 with a year-end on price increase of $50,700, which is very substantial when we're looking at budgeting. So the cost to the district to purchase a 70-passenger bus would be $48,090 for fully equipped, and that would come from local or SPLOST funds. And to purchase an 89-passenger bus would be $83,000. Cost to the district, $83,390 for a fully equipped bus. What is our plan? 5 buses all at once would be very difficult for us to do in any budget year due to the increase. So we have a plan to spread this out over 2 fiscal years. First, we'd like in this fiscal year purchase one 72-passenger bus and one 72-passenger bus with a handicap lift. Our current bus with handicap lift is almost 17 years old. We currently do not have any students needing a handicap lift, but we must prepare because they can come in the district at any time, and us not being prepared could put us in jeopardy under federal law. And we know that is a major need. So we are waiting on the price for that bus. It's a little bit different, so we'll have that in its entirety. This is information tonight, so when it comes for action, we'll definitely have that whole number. In FY25, we'll purchase one 89-passenger bus and two 72-passenger buses, if the budget allows. Are there any questions?
No questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Bacon. You still on?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Once again, Chairman Kostoffen and Superintendent Bullard, board members, I'd like to present to you some of our major summer project renovations for your review and for information tonight. This aligns with areas 1 and 2 of our strategic plan, learning and wellness for all, and excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunity. While this is not a complete and total list, this gets us started on some of the things that we would like to do for our students and staff. The first is replacement of furniture for JES and Twiggs County Middle School. Jeffersonville Elementary School and Twiggs County Middle School are in need of new student desks and tables. The average age of the student desks and chairs at the school is about 15 years old. The high school received new desks about 6 years ago, and they're still in good shape. The district would also like to purchase 65 teacher desks as well as teacher chairs for the middle high school. JES received new staff chairs on this year. The estimated cost is $150,000 to $170,000. We are currently working with the middle school and the elementary school. Currently, we are working with a furniture consultant to get all of our needs written down and priced. Repainting JES in the middle school interior. We'd like to repaint the interior of Jeffersonville Elementary School's classrooms in the middle school. This would include painting the classroom hallways in the building. The high school will be scheduled at a later date because of our summer timeline. We have a lot of projects that we're doing this summer, and we feel like we can get that done and get them ready to go by the time teachers are back. And plus, we have a lot of professional learning and things and new staff coming on, so we want to make sure we're ready at an estimated cost of $85,000 to $110,000. Major roof repairs. The last thermal roof scan revealed that major repairs on and/or replacement for the following buildings were most critical: the 600 building, all of the athletic outbuildings, Jeffersonville Elementary School. The estimated cost, $175,000 to $350,000. Track resurfacing. The asphalt track is over 30 years old and is not serviceable. The plan is to resurface and stripe the track, making it a venue for track competitions and community use. The project will include fencing, sidewalks, and landscaping, as well as bleachers. The estimated cost is $350,000 to $650,000. Classroom lighting upgrades. As part of the classroom upgrades, the old incandescent lights will be replaced with new LED lights. The LED lights are more efficient and will save money on labor and reduce the use of ladders that are often the source of most of the injuries of staff. The estimated cost is $65,000 to $75,000. Questions?
Any questions? All right, continue.
Next, I'll be presenting to you our security camera updates. And once again, we are focusing in my area on areas 1 and 2 of the strategic plan: learning and wellness for all, and excellence ahead, academic facilities, and opportunity. And our vision is one team, one goal, with the mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. Security camera upgrades. Security camera upgrades will focus on perimeter detection, improve current capabilities, decrease blind spots, improve quality, and integrate new features, and enhance monitoring capabilities. As you can see, some of the cameras that we will be using will be newer long-range cameras that have clearer pictures, to be able to identify persons and cars on our campuses a lot quicker. And we also will include automatic plate recognition cameras for the cars that go up and down and traverse our schoolway on Watson, as well as in our parking lot. What do we want to do? We want to get a new NVR, and that is the device. That is the device that will allow us to record higher definition pictures, as well as have longer record times, because sometimes incidents may happen. We may not find out for a week or two, and people want to say, go back to the cameras, but the cameras have been rewritten. We want to get a big enough NVR that we have more time in case we need to do that. We would like 5 long-range thermal cameras for the building perimeter, 1 close-range camera, 2 progressive scan cameras with audio, 1 pan view camera for the playground, and 1 point-to-point wireless connection for a cost of $49,575. Security upgrades at the middle school, middle high school: 3 long-range thermal cameras for the building perimeter, 3 close-range cameras for the building perimeter, 2 progressive scan cameras with audio, 1 dark fighter low light camera, and 1 automatic plate number recognition camera. The funding will come from, will be allocated from funds from the amended FY22 budget. Each school received $50,000 in security upgrades from the state. So this is part of that. We feel that this is a good upgrade. And we will talk about some of the features of the cameras because we don't want everybody to know everything about what we're planning to do as outlined. We feel that this is a good purchase. Or are there any questions?
I would just like to ask, this is, I guess, would be one on the front of it that you talked about. I know I visited restrooms. You ever thought about, superintendent, upgrading maybe the sinks, the toilets, in the restrooms? It looks like it, to me, that it needs an upgrade for our kids.
I think that is, well, I think you have a great point. It is something that we've been doing. For instance, we upgraded all of the urinals, and it's incremental. So some things you don't catch when you go in as often as you guys do. So we upgraded all the urinals over the break in JES. So that's new urinals, new valves. So plumbing is very expensive, so we've been phasing that in. Last summer, we replaced several other toilets. Now, what makes it difficult is that we have those block walls in there, and they're not as attractive as some of those panels and things that you do. But we put in lights and we upgraded the painting. So, and then some, I think we put in some mirrors. But we're always looking to upgrade. So, yes, it's definitely on our radar, and we're making those changes as we go. Right now, we are upgrading the plumbing and the restrooms in this 600 building, especially in the locker room. So that's coming in the next couple weeks as we're doing upgrades to the locker room and the bathrooms in that building, which really, really needed.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. Maybe I should have said it on your earlier presentation. I've talked to Dr. Bull about that at JES. Is it some way we can look at putting a canopy or something for the car riders, the kids, and the staff that be out in the rain and cold? We need to keep them healthy. I'm quite sure Ms. Jenkins would like to have a staff there as well as her students. They running out with umbrellas, rain blowing on them. I know it's good to look good from the outside, but that'll look good for the kids too, right there. Something that we can think about.
Well, yes, sir. To address that, we are addressing that with architects and engineers. And I'll bait that, yes, it's been on the radar. And hopefully we'll have something to you guys mid-June because we looked at some things. How will we do it? You got cars, accidents, strength. So definitely we've been told to get something drawn up and to get that figured out and get that budgeted. So like I said, these are some of our major projects that we like you to look at. We'll be presenting some more. Want the board, because we have this month delay, we want the board to kind of, hey, these are what we got. These are the estimates that we're running with. So when we bring back proposals and things like that. But yes, it is on our radar, and hopefully, I won't say next month, but probably next month, I will be presenting something on that overhang for the board. We've been charged with that, to get that done.
Well, I like to say, Dr. Bullock, you did tell me you have, but it's not that I didn't trust you. I just want to make sure that the man that's doing it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bacon. All right. Well, now I'm gonna make a motion for us to move into executive session. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been motioned by myself, Chair, and second by Mr. Rouse that we move into executive session to discuss personnel matters. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
The motion has been unanimously approved. this time, we want to, can I get a motion to return from executive session?
I make that motion.
Okay, it has been motioned, properly motioned by Mr. Rouse and second by King, that we return from executive session. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Okay. The vote is unanimous that we return from executive session. At this time, we want to motion to accept the list of new hires as well as the resignations, number 4795, 4794, and 4754. The new hires and the resignations 3371 and 3428. Can I get a motion on that?
I make the motion to accept the new hires and the resignations.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it has been properly motioned by Ms. Black here and second by Mr. Rouse that we accept the new hires and the resignations. Are there any questions? Again, the motion is to accept the new hires as well as the resignations. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Okay, the vote is unanimous. Is there any other business? If there are no more business, this meeting is now adjourned.
Hit the gavel.